In an interview with the news source Reddit in 2006, soon-to-be retiree Steve Stassen, an engineer for Kodak, stated, "The sky's the limit for what we're going to do. The challenges are formidable, as photography has opened more challenges than ever. Cameras are marvelous devices, and are getting better, smaller, more futuristic, and cheaper." 30 years ago, he would be completely in awe of this optimism. This is because in 1975, exactly 30 years ago from this year, Stassen had just created the first digital camera. It shot in black and white. It recorded the photos on a cassette tape. It was the size of a basketball, and it weighed 8 pounds. Try fitting that in your back pocket. But how did he get to this point? His innovation dates back hundreds of years ago to the Chinese and Greek camera obscura. This device could be the size of an entire room, and the photographs created could not be preserved without manually sketching them. The first fixed photograph wouldn't be created until 1816, and even then, every photograph was only temporarily viewable until it became exposed to light, and only one was preserved from this era. It was not until film was created in 1885 that cameras would be utilized more commonly, and even then were still very difficult to operate. When 35mm film was created in the early 1900s, cameras started to take hold of the general public, and families started to use them more commonly. But it took almost 70 years to get to the point where Stassen could create a digital camera, moving the photographs from film onto SD cards. But why does this matter? The invention of the digital camera, although seemingly insignificant, has completely transformed artistry. It has opened up a completely different art form, taking hold of everyday life, particularly with the invention of social media such as Facebook and Instagram. But most importantly, it has captured the use of media in journalism. Advertising, newspapers, magazines, even textbooks have completely transformed with the invention of the digital camera due to its accessibility. Although film was useful and crucial to these aspects of society, the digital camera has rendered it obsolete with its versatility and convenient operating system. Thus, digital photography has made it easier for advertising and media to capture the viewer's attention and convey messages more clearly. Now that we have this invaluable resource, though, society has become dependent on it. But how does this affect education? The educational system we have created has the responsibility of adapting our teachings to the ongoings of our society. Because of this, we have the obligation of creating an educational system that is relevant and useful to the generation we are instructing. Throughout time, courses such as mathematics, sciences, and economics have evolved with society to stay relevant and accurate. Almost all courses undergo transformation to educate our students to the best of our ability, but one has stayed relatively static, and that's our art department. Why is this a problem? On a personal note, I became entranced with photography when I was 12 years old, the day my dad brought home our family's first DSLR camera the day before my brother's high school graduation. Oftentimes I would get home from school before my dad got home from work and take the camera outside and take pictures before he found out I was using it, because it just intrigued me so much. It wasn't until my junior year of high school that I saved enough money, and that's a lot of working at Papers Plus, but I saved a lot of money and bought my own camera, and now I feel naked going anywhere without it. But it wasn't until this year when I started taking full photography with Mr. Spieg that my passion really manifested itself. Mr. Spieg's class teaches the fundamental aspects of photography, including the anatomy of the camera, its history, and the basic rules of composition. Because of this, I've successfully created my own small business, taking family portraits and senior portraits, as well as became the main photo editor for our school's newspaper, the East Vision. I've devoted more time to the passion I have for photography, but more importantly, I've come to appreciate the art form that we often take for granted because of its accessibility. Although I believe traditional art classes are extremely important to students, there needs to be a greater emphasis and accessibility of photo education in our society. Students must realize the incredible resources they have at their fingertips due to the advancements in photography. And now, because of these advancements, it is the job of our educational system to inform students how to utilize these tools properly. Without proper instruction, students would be unable to capture pivotal moments in our world's history. Photographs have the ability to convey information in an instantaneous and clear manner, more so than any news story, and that is why our media is so dependent on it. We need to foster students who can meet the demands of society, and that starts in the classroom. My Education Reimagined is a system that gives importance to all art forms and is cognizant of the ongoings of our society. We need to give students the opportunity to learn about the art form that is taking media and communication by storm. But most of all, we need to teach students how to portray the future events of our planet in a society whose media is completely dependent on visual artistry. Thank you.